Hi everyone, Lamisha here from LamishaSerf-Walls.com, bringing you another Mindset Monday tip of the day. I'm warning you now, today's tip is a little bit of tough love. And depending on where you are and where you are mentally when you're listening to this, it may or may not trigger you. My hope, though, is that it helps expand your understanding and empowers you to really own your mindset and own the things that are unfolding for you. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is one of those things that has been a bit of a challenge for me the last couple of weeks. And I've been finding myself in and out of kind of good and bad mindset spaces. And when I've been in the bad or the seemingly bad mindset spaces, I have been having a really hard time getting out of it and really processing through what I need to do to get out of it. And looking back on it, I can tell you that this is what I was not doing. So when we're talking about mindset and we're talking about those thoughts that are coming up, so often we have a tendency to point the finger. We say, this thing over here is happening, it's unfolding, this person said this, my bank account is this, my business looks like this, my body feels like this, and these are the reasons that I feel the way that I feel. And they're valid and they're true. And absolutely, you have every right to feel how you feel. The question is, how is it serving you? And I can tell you from experience that recently, the way that I was feeling didn't feel good. It felt terrible. It felt worse than terrible. And I had been stuck in this loop of, this thing is bothering me. How do I get out of it? But it's true. And I was like really in the rabbit hole. And it got to a point where I just had to own my shit. I just had to own it. And what I mean by that is I had to own the fact that it was me that was allowing these people, these circumstances, these situations to bother me. It was me that was allowing myself to constantly think through it, to constantly reprocess, to constantly revisit and focus on the things that were not working out for me. It was me. And I fought it like you wouldn't believe. I fought it like crazy because in owning your shit, in owning those moments where you're basically giving up your control to someone else or giving up your control to other people, you are putting yourself in a really tough spot. It's so much easier to play the blame game and to say, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, it's society's fault, it's the president's fault, it's whomever's fault, in terms of, putting us or placing us in the place that we're in, mentally, physically, emotionally, right? But ultimately, it is our responsibility. It is our power. It's within our power to decide who is going to help us, feel empowered or who is not. Like, it's up to us. It's our responsibility. It's not our fault, but it's our responsibility. So as I was processing through this, and it took me probably a full 7 to 10 days to really get to that place, I woke up. I realized that not only was I allowing other people, circumstances, things to take away my power, but I was dwindling and wasting away every precious moment that I spent in those places, thinking and venting and revisiting and rehashing all of these things that made me upset. I was validating my emotions. I was validating my vibration. I was validating the fact that I felt limited in some way. I felt stuck. I felt upset. I was angry. I was sad. I was depressed. I was feeling all of these emotions. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is a coach, a mindset coach of all people, sharing with you these moments? I share these things with you for a couple of reasons. One is because I'm human. And anyone that has worked with me or is thinking of working with me, you have to know that from the get-go. I am human. I am not perfect. There are no coaches that are perfect. I know my stuff. I learn my stuff. I learned from my stuff. So I'm human, and you may find yourself in these circumstances. You may say, Lamisha, I know this. I know that I have to be the creator of my reality. I have to be the creator of my mindset. But what happens when crap hits the fan and you find yourself reacting as opposed to responding? You find yourself focusing on the things that aren't working out versus choosing to believe in what is working out, right? So I share all of this with you because you may very well be going through a similar situation. You may be going through it, you may have gone through it, and I promise at some point you will go through it, right? That's just how life is. But here's what I want you to know. You're not alone, and you always have the power. Now, in that 7-day, 10-day span of this sort of up and down, I was struggling mentally and emotionally. I had a really hard time getting to that place because the emotions, the momentum, if you check my mindset video from a couple weeks ago, I talked about momentum. The momentum was so strong in the direction of, I'm stuck, I feel this way, I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm confused, right? So the momentum was going so much because I kept focusing on it and thinking about it. So what happens when you own it? When you say, I am owning the fact that I am choosing to allow these people, circumstances, situations to have power over me. When you do that, there is something magical that happens. It's almost as if, it's not a blame game for yourself, but it's almost as if you just look at it and you say, oh, okay, so I have control. In an instant, you get to shift and say, I decide that something different is going to happen. I'm choosing something different. I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing to relax. I'm choosing to allow. I'm choosing to open up and to empower myself, to choose how I'm going to think and feel. That thing no longer has power over me, right? And when I did that, this whole concept really hit me. And I knew I had to share it with you, like I said, for a variety of reasons, but mostly because I want you to know that even in those moments where it feels like the world is against us, or we're up against, a hard place in our life, or we're going through challenges, we always have an opportunity to really focus on how we want to think and feel. And the mindset work is part of that process. And to be honest, I haven't done as much mindset work recently as I could have, or as I would have liked to. I just didn't. That's not where I was at that place. But it's important to understand that you always have the power. When you own it, own the fact that it's not what you want it to be right now, and that maybe you've allowed someone to take your power, and then decide that you're going to take that power back and choose to look at whatever you need to look at to feel better. Because as soon as you do that, I promise the momentum will get going in the right direction. Okay. So today's mindset tip, of course, is about you owning your stuff. Own it, claim it, accept it, and then move forward beyond it, because we are human beings and it's just part of what our experience is. But the faster you own it, the easier it is to move through. That is my tip for you today. Hopefully it wasn't too triggering and it was helpful for you. I would love to hear your thoughts. So please post a comment below this video and let me know if this is something that you've struggled with. And if you're interested in taking this mindset work to the next level and you want some support one-on-one working on your own mindset, developing your own practice, please send me a message, because I am booking my final one-on-one sessions for 2018 and I would love to have a chat with you. In the meantime, have a great Monday and have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.